In the blink of an eye, 4 billion years unfold. The Earth's timeline and epic history. The cataclysm that ended the reign of the dinosaurs left a world scarred but not broken. Part 3 of our journey, the flowering, culminated in that dramatic extinction event. Now we turn the page to a new chapter in Earth's history, a period of rebuilding and remarkable transformation. For over 150 million years, dinosaurs had dominated the land, but their sudden demise created a vast ecological vacuum, an opportunity for the survivors to flourish. This new era, spanning the last 66 million years, is the Cenozoic, literally meaning new life. And it is in this new world that mammals and birds, once overshadowed, would rise to prominence. Freed from the constraints of dinosaur dominance, mammals and birds diversified at an astonishing rate, adapting to fill a myriad of ecological niches. From tiny shrews to giant whales, from flightless ostriches to soaring eagles, these warm-blooded vertebrates embarked on an incredible evolutionary journey that continues to this day. But the Cenozoic era is more than just the story of mammals and birds. It's a period marked by significant global changes. We'll explore the long-term cooling trend that shaped our planet's climate, the rise of vast grasslands that transformed terrestrial ecosystems, the fascinating evolutionary journey of the primates leading to our own species, and the dramatic cycles of ice ages that sculpted the landscapes we know. The Cenozoic era, a planet reborn, is the final act in our epic Earth timeline, the period that ultimately leads to the world we inhabit today. Join us as we delve into this fascinating chapter and witness the dawn of a new age, the age of mammals, the age of birds, and ultimately, the age of humanity. The dust had settled. The fiery skies had cleared. The world that emerged after the cataclysm that wiped out the non-avian dinosaurs was a very different place. This is the Paleogene world, the dawn of a new era, and the story of how life began to rebuild and diversify in the absence of its former rulers. The Paleogene epoch began with a planet scarred by extinction. Vast ecological niches lay empty, waiting to be filled. The survivors, particularly the mammals and birds, found themselves in a world ripe with opportunity. With the large dinosaur predators gone, these once marginalized groups were free to explore new evolutionary pathways. The mammals, in particular, underwent a remarkable period of rapid diversification. From their small, often nocturnal ancestors, they began to evolve into a vast array of forms, adapting to different diets and environments. This adaptive radiation saw the emergence of the early ancestors of many of the mammal groups we know today. Consider Purgatorius, one of the earliest known primates, a small, agile creature that lived in the trees. Or Mesonyx, an early carnivorous mammal that, while looking somewhat dog-like, is actually related to modern-day whales. And then there's Eohippus, a small multi-toed ancestor of the modern horse, barely larger than a fox. Perhaps one of the most surprising evolutionary journeys of the Paleogene is that of the whales. Their ancestors were land-dwelling mammals, and fossils like Indohuus, a small, deer-like creature from around 48 million years ago, show the early stages of this transition back to the water. Its thickened ear bones are a key link to modern whales. Just as the mammals were seizing new opportunities, so too were the birds. Having survived the KPG extinction, the avian dinosaurs also diversified rapidly, filling ecological roles previously occupied by other types of reptiles. The Paleogene saw the evolution of many modern bird lineages, as well as some truly remarkable extinct forms. Imagine Gastornis, a giant flightless bird that stood taller than a human and likely occupied the role of a top predator in some ecosystems. Early penguins, adapted for swimming in the oceans, also emerged during this time. And the Paleogene skies were patrolled by early raptors, the ancestors of today's eagles and hawks. The Paleogene wasn't just a time of biological upheaval. The Earth's climate was also undergoing significant changes. The early Paleogene was generally warm, with tropical conditions extending closer to the poles than they do today. However, over the course of the epoch, the planet gradually began to cool, setting the stage for later climatic shifts. This changing climate influenced the distribution and evolution of both mammals and birds, favoring those that could adapt to cooler temperatures and different types of vegetation. The interactions between these diversifying vertebrates and other life forms, such as flowering plants and insects, also became increasingly complex, shaping the ecosystems of the New World. Our understanding of the Paleogene world comes from a wealth of fossil discoveries around the globe. Sites like the Messel Pit in Germany, a remarkably preserved fossil lake, and the Green River Formation in the United States have yielded incredibly detailed fossils of early mammals, birds, insects and plants, providing invaluable insights into this pivotal period of Earth's history. The Paleogene world was a time of remarkable recovery and innovation, a period where the survivors of a global catastrophe seized the opportunity to reshape life on Earth. From small, unassuming ancestors to the early forms of the magnificent creatures we know today, the Paleogene laid the foundation for the world that would follow, a world increasingly dominated by mammals and birds. Join us in the next chapter as we explore the next stage of this transformation, the Great Cooling. The Paleogene world was a time of recovery and rapid diversification following the dinosaur extinction. But the Earth's climate, ever dynamic, was about to embark on a long-term trend that would dramatically reshape the planet and the life it supported. This is the story of the Great Cooling. In the early Paleogene, the Earth was significantly warmer than it is today. Tropical and subtropical climates extended much closer to the poles, and there was little to no permanent ice at either the Arctic or Antarctic. But over the course of the Cenozoic era, spanning millions of years, the planet gradually began to cool, a trend that intensified in the Neogene and Quaternary periods. One of the key drivers of this great cooling was the movement of the Earth's continents, a process we know as continental drift. During the Cenozoic, two major continental shifts played a crucial role. Firstly, Antarctica, which had been connected to South America and Australia, drifted southwards and became isolated at the South Pole. Secondly, the Isthmus of Panama, a narrow strip of land connecting North and South America, gradually rose from the sea. This seemingly small geological event had a profound impact on global ocean currents. Before the Isthmus of Panama formed, there was a direct flow of warm water between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans in the equatorial region. The formation of the isthmus blocked this flow, diverting warm water northwards along the eastern coast of North America, eventually contributing to the Gulf Stream. Even more significantly, the isolation of Antarctica allowed for the development of the Antarctic Circumpolar Current, a powerful current that flows around the continent, preventing warmer waters from reaching it. This effectively isolated Antarctica, thermally leading to the buildup of massive ice sheets at the South Pole, which reflected more sunlight back into space, contributing to global cooling. Another important factor in the Great Cooling was the process of mountain building, or orogeny. The Cenozoic saw the formation of major mountain ranges like the Himalayas, as the Indian tectonic plate collided with Asia and the Andes along the western edge of South America. The uplift of these massive mountain ranges increased the rate of weathering of rocks. Weathering involves the breakdown of rocks by chemical and physical processes, and importantly, it draws down carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas, trapping heat, so its removal leads to cooling. This process is part of the Earth's long-term carbon cycle, a complex system involving the exchange of carbon between the atmosphere, oceans, land, and living organisms. Geological processes like weathering and volcanic activity play a crucial role in regulating the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere and, consequently, global temperatures. The evidence for the Great Cooling comes from various sources. Scientists analyzed the ratio of different isotopes of oxygen in the shells of ancient marine organisms preserved in ocean sediments. These ratios change with temperature, providing a record of past ocean temperatures. Similarly, ice cores drilled from the thick ice sheets of Antarctica and Greenland contain trapped air bubbles that reveal the composition of the ancient atmosphere, including carbon dioxide levels and temperature proxies. The Great Cooling had a profound impact on global ecosystems. As temperatures dropped and conditions became drier in many regions, forests began to retreat and grasslands expanded. This shift favored the evolution of grazing mammals adapted to open environments, as we'll explore in the next chapter. Animals also evolved adaptations to cope with the increasingly cooler climates, such as thicker fur, the ability to store fat, and migrations to warmer regions during colder periods. The cooling trend intensified during the Quaternary period, the most recent geological period, leading to the repeated cycles of glacial and interglacial periods, the ice ages, which we will explore in a later chapter. The Great Cooling was a long and complex process, driven by a combination of geological and astronomical factors. It fundamentally reshaped our planet, influencing the distribution of continents, the flow of oceans, the composition of the atmosphere, and ultimately, the evolution of life. Join us in the next chapter as we delve into one of the most significant consequences of this cooling trend, the rise of grass. The Great Cooling had begun its long, slow transformation of our planet. As temperatures gradually dropped and conditions became drier in many regions, the once dominant forests began to give way to a new type of vegetation, one that would reshape terrestrial ecosystems and drive the evolution of a vast array of animal life. This is the story of the rise of grass. For much of the Cenozoic era, forests were the dominant terrestrial biome, but as the climate cooled and rainfall patterns shifted, particularly during the Neogene period, conditions became less favorable for trees in many areas. This created an opportunity for a different kind of plant, one that was better adapted to drier, more open environments, the grasses. Grasses, seemingly simple plants, possess a number of key adaptations that allowed them to thrive in these new conditions. Unlike trees which grow from their tips, grasses grow from their base, close to the ground. This allows them to withstand grazing by animals and recover quickly after being eaten or damaged by fire. Another important adaptation is the presence of silica in their leaves. This makes them tough and abrasive, which helps to deter some herbivores. However, for those animals that did evolve to eat grasses, this silica content would drive their own evolutionary adaptations. Grasses are also incredibly efficient at photosynthesis, the process by which they convert sunlight into energy. Their growth form allows them to capture sunlight effectively, even in open, windy environments. This efficiency made them a highly successful group of plants capable of rapidly colonizing vast areas. The expansion of grasslands became particularly prominent during the Neogene period, which began around 23 million years ago. As the climate continued to cool and dry, in many mid-latitude regions, grasslands spread across continents, creating vast savannas, prairies and steppes. This dramatic shift in vegetation had a profound impact on the evolution of herbivores. Animals that could efficiently digest grasses gained a significant advantage. This led to the co-evolution of grasses and grazing mammals, a remarkable example of how different life forms can shape each other's evolutionary paths. Grazing mammals evolved specialized adaptations for feeding on grasses. Their teeth became high-crowned and continuously growing to withstand the abrasive silica. They developed powerful jaws and specialized digestive systems, often with multiple stomachs, to efficiently break down the tough plant material. The rise of grasslands saw the diversification of iconic grazing mammals. Early horses like Mesohippus evolved from their smaller forest-dwelling ancestors into faster, more agile grazers. Vast herds of bison roamed the North American prairies, Antelopes and gazelles flourished on the African savannas, and the ancestors of modern elephants adapted to graze on the grasses of various continents. The abundance of grazing mammals, in turn, drove the evolution of predators. Swift and agile carnivores like early cats and dogs evolved to hunt these herbivores across the open grasslands. Birds of prey also adapted to hunt smaller mammals and birds that inhabited these environments. Grasslands also played a crucial role in shaping the landscape. The dense root systems of grasses helped to stabilize soil and prevent erosion. The seasonal growth and dieback of grasses contributed to the development of fertile topsoil. Additionally, natural fires became a common occurrence in many grasslands, playing an important ecological role in preventing the encroachment of trees and maintaining the open nature of these ecosystems. Today, grasslands cover a significant portion of the Earth's land surface, supporting a vast array of biodiversity. From the savannas of Africa to the prairies of North America and the steppes of Eurasia, these ecosystems are vital for countless species and play a crucial role in the planet's overall health. The rise of grass was a pivotal event in the history of life, a consequence of a changing climate that led to the evolution of a new dominant plant form and in turn drove a major wave of animal diversification. It's a testament to the interconnectedness of life on Earth and the powerful influence of environmental change. Join us in the next chapter as we explore another fascinating branch of the mammalian family tree, the primate story. Within the vast and diverse family tree of mammals, one particular branch holds a special significance for us. It's the story of the primates, a group of intelligent and adaptable creatures that have evolved over millions of years, ultimately leading to the emergence of our own species. This is the primate story. The earliest ancestors of primates appeared in the Paleogene period following the extinction of the dinosaurs. These were small, often nocturnal mammals that lived in the trees, a lifestyle we call arboreal. They were likely insectivorous, relying on their agility and keen senses to navigate the forest canopy. Over time, these early primates evolved a set of key characteristics that defined their lineage. One of the most distinctive features is their grasping hands and feet, with opposable thumbs and big toes. This adaptation allowed them to grip branches securely and move with dexterity through the trees. Another crucial development was the shift towards forward-facing eyes, providing binocular vision. This gave primates depth perception, essential for accurately judging distances when leaping between branches. Their sense of smell also became less dominant, while their vision became more acute. Compared to other mammals, primates also developed relatively large brains. This increased brain power likely played a role in their complex social behaviors and problem-solving abilities, which were advantageous in the intricate environment of the forest canopy. Within the primate lineage, a major split occurred, leading to two main groups, the prosimians and the anthropoids. Prosimians, meaning before apes, include lemurs, lorises and tarsiers. These primates often retain more ancestral traits and are generally found in specific regions of the world, like Madagascar and Southeast Asia. The anthropoids, meaning human-like, are a more diverse group that includes monkeys, apes and humans. One of the early branches within the anthropoids led to the monkeys. These primates diversified into two main groups: Old World monkeys, found in Africa and Asia, and New World monkeys, found in Central and South America. They differ in various anatomical features, including their noses and tails. Around 25 million years ago, during the Miocene epoch, a significant evolutionary event occurred, the emergence of apes, also known as hominoids. Apes differ from monkeys in several key ways. They are generally larger, have no tails, and possess more flexible shoulders and hips, allowing for greater range of motion. They also exhibit more complex social behaviors and cognitive abilities. Within the ape lineage, another important split occurred, leading to the lesser apes, the gibbons and siamangs, and the great apes. The great apes include orangutans, gorillas, chimpanzees, bonobos, and of course humans. These primates are characterized by their large size, high intelligence and complex social structures. Around 6 to 7 million years ago, a crucial divergence occurred within the great ape family, the emergence of the hominins. Hominins are the group that includes modern humans and our extinct bipedal ancestors. The key defining characteristic of hominins is bipedalism, the ability to walk upright on two legs. Bipedalism offered several advantages, freeing up the hands for carrying objects, using tools and other tasks. It also allowed for a higher vantage point for spotting predators and prey, and it may have been more energy efficient for long-distance travel in open environments. The fossil record has provided us with a growing understanding of early hominin evolution. Discoveries of fossils like Australopithecus, including the famous Lucy, dating back millions of years, show early hominins with a mix of ape-like and human-like features, capable of walking upright. Later hominins, such as Homo habilis and Homo erectus, showed further increases in brain size and the development of more sophisticated tools. The primate story is a long and intricate tale spanning tens of millions of years and involving numerous evolutionary branches. From our small, tree-dwelling ancestors to the complex, tool-using humans of today, our journey has been shaped by environmental pressures, genetic changes, and a remarkable capacity for adaptation. Our place in this grand narrative is a relatively recent development, but one that has had a profound impact on the planet. Join us in the next chapter as we explore the dramatic environmental changes of the last few million years. The Ice Ages. The long cooling trend of the Cenozoic reached its dramatic climax in the Pleistocene epoch, a period defined by repeated and often rapid fluctuations in global climate. This was the era of the Ice Ages, a time when vast ice sheets advanced and retreated across continents, profoundly shaping the world and influencing the course of human evolution. The defining characteristic of the Pleistocene was a series of glacial and interglacial cycles. For tens of thousands of years, the Earth would plunge into a cold glacial period with massive ice sheets spreading from the poles. Then, relatively quickly, the climate would warm, the ice would retreat, and the Earth would enter a warmer interglacial period, like the one we are in now. The evidence for these past ice ages is written in the very landscape. We see it in the U-shaped valleys carved by glaciers, in the piles of rocky debris called moraines left behind as the ice retreated, and in the presence of erratic boulders. Rocks transported vast distances by ice sheets. Scientists also study ice cores drilled from Greenland and Antarctica, which contain layers of ice that trap information about past temperatures and atmospheric composition. Marine sediments also provide clues about past climate conditions. The primary driver of these cyclical climate changes are subtle variations in the Earth's orbit around the Sun, known as Milankovitch cycles. These cycles operate over tens of thousands of years and affect the amount and distribution of solar radiation that reaches our planet. The first component is eccentricity, which describes the shape of the Earth's orbit. It varies from being almost perfectly circular to more elliptical over a cycle of about 100,000 years. A more elliptical orbit means the Earth receives more solar radiation when it's closer to the Sun and less when it's farther away, leading to more extreme seasonal variations. The impact of the ice ages has been profound. These periods of extensive glaciation have shaped landscapes, sea levels, and even the evolution of life on Earth. Ice sheets expanded and contracted, carving out valleys and altering river courses. The redistribution of water from the oceans to ice sheets caused sea levels to drop, exposing land bridges that allowed species to migrate. These climatic shifts forced species to adapt, migrate, or face extinction, ultimately influencing the course of evolution. The second component is obliquity, which is the tilt of the Earth's axis. This tilt varies between about 22 and 24.5 degrees over a cycle of roughly 41,000 years. A greater tilt leads to more pronounced seasons, with warmer summers and colder winters. The third component is precession, which refers to the wobble of the Earth's axis, much like a spinning top. This wobble changes the timing of the seasons relative to Earth's orbit around the Sun, with a cycle of about 23,000 years. The combined effects of these Milankovitch cycles influence the amount of solar energy reaching the high latitudes of the northern hemisphere during summer. Cooler summers in this region can prevent the previous winter's snow from melting completely, leading to a gradual buildup of ice sheets over thousands of years. The ice ages had a dramatic impact on global sea levels. During glacial periods, vast amounts of water were locked up in massive ice sheets, causing sea levels to drop significantly, in some cases by over 100 meters. This exposed land bridges that are now submerged, such as the Bering Land Bridge connecting Asia and North America. The advance and retreat of ice sheets also profoundly affected plant and animal life. Permafrost, permanently frozen ground, expanded across large areas. Tundra ecosystems, characterized by low-growing vegetation, spread southwards. Many species of animals adapted to the cold, giving rise to the megafauna of the Ice Ages, including woolly mammoths, woolly rhinoceroses, giant ground sloths and saber-toothed cats. Human evolution and the future. The Ice Ages played a crucial role in human evolution and dispersal. The harsh conditions likely acted as a selective pressure, favoring intelligence, tool use and social cooperation. The lower sea levels during glacial periods also facilitated the migration of early humans out of Africa and into other parts of the world, including the crossing of the Bering Land Bridge into the Americas. The most recent glacial period, known as the last glacial maximum, reached its peak around 20,000 years ago. Since then, the Earth has gradually warmed, and the ice sheets have retreated, leading to the current interglacial period, the Holocene, which began about 11,700 years ago. This is the relatively stable climate in which human civilization has flourished. Scientists continue to study the Ice Ages to better understand the complex interplay of factors that drive climate change. There is ongoing debate about whether we are currently on a trajectory towards a new glacial period, or if human-induced climate change, with its rapid increase in greenhouse gases, is now overriding these natural cycles. The Ice Ages were a period of dramatic environmental upheaval, a time when ice sculpted the continents and forced life to adapt or perish. They left an indelible mark on our planet and played a significant role in shaping the course of human history. The story of Earth's timeline is a testament to the constant change and the powerful forces that continue to shape our world. Part 4 of our epic journey, A Planet Reborn, has chronicled the remarkable recovery of life following the dinosaur extinction. We've witnessed the astonishing diversification of mammals and birds, the long, slow cooling of our planet, the rise of vast grasslands and the dramatic environmental swings of the Ice Ages. But within this grand narrative, one particular story has been steadily unfolding, the story of our own origins. From our humble beginnings as small tree-dwelling primates, millions of years of evolution have sculpted our lineage. The development of grasping hands, binocular vision, and increasingly complex brains laid the groundwork. Then came the crucial step bipedalism, the ability to walk upright. This seemingly simple adaptation freed our ancestors' hands, allowing them to interact with their environment in entirely new ways. The Pleistocene epoch, the era of the Ice Ages, became the stage for significant milestones in human evolution. Around 2.5 million years ago in Africa, the genus Homo emerged. Early Homo species, like Homo habilis, began to craft simple tools from stone, marking a crucial turning point in our relationship with the natural world. These tools allowed them to butcher meat, process plants, and ultimately thrive in a wider range of environments. Roughly 1.8 million years ago, Homo erectus appeared, a more advanced hominin with a larger brain and more sophisticated tools. This species was the first to venture out of Africa, spreading across Asia and even reaching parts of Europe. Homo erectus was a resilient and adaptable species, surviving for over 1 million years and mastering the use of fire. The story then leads us to the emergence of our own species, Homo sapiens, in Africa around 300,000 years ago. With our larger brains and capacity for complex thought and communication, Homo sapiens developed increasingly sophisticated tools, art and social structures. As the ice ages fluctuated, Homo sapiens began their own great migration out of Africa, eventually populating every corner of the globe. The lower sea levels during glacial periods facilitated some of these movements, allowing early humans to cross land bridges into new territories. As the last glacial period receded and the warmer Holocene epoch began, human societies started to flourish. The development of agriculture around 12,000 years ago marked another profound shift, allowing for settled communities, the growth of civilizations, and the rapid acceleration of human impact on the planet. The emergence of humanity is the latest chapter in the Earth's long and epic history. From the very first spark of life billions of years ago through unimaginable transformations and dramatic events, the evolutionary journey has led to us. We are a product of this incredible timeline, shaped by the same forces that sculpted continents and drove the rise and fall of countless species. As we stand at this point in time, we have the unique ability to understand the vast history that has led to our existence. We can look back at the Cambrian explosion, the reign of dinosaurs, and the icy grip of the ice ages, and see our own story as part of this grand cosmic narrative. But with this understanding comes responsibility. The future of our planet, and indeed our own species, now rests in our hands. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey through Earth's timeline. While our story continues to be written, we hope this series has provided a glimpse into the breathtaking history of our home planet.